Agenda item 9F, the marijuana business ordinance approval.
I move to approve the second reading and adoption of the marijuana business ordinance and to approve the ordinance summary for publication.
Support.
Okay. All right. Anybody have questions or comments?
I do. I know we're well along this road, but just as evidenced tonight by the many speakers here, I don't think we're all totally clear yet on what this ordinance is and what it means to the city. And one of the most glaring things that, as I looked at this ordinance, that bothers me the most, there's been a lot of accusations and a lot of that type of thing, which some of which I think are true and some I don't know. But what I do know is this point system, we did not have a discussion about. And the point system is clearly weighted in favor of large organizations with a lot of money, and it will be weighted in favor of the people, the two organizations that currently have a license. Right off the bat, they get the 100 bonus points. If you have a lot of people, which a larger organization would have, you get a point per person. So what this does is, since we only have a limited number of licenses, totally discourages small business. It not only discourages small business, it discourages minority-owned business, as was pointed out tonight. It certainly does not encourage, I think, any small business development in the city. And I don't think that was our intention when we did it. I don't, but I think that we need to have, at a minimum, there's a few other areas that have been highlighted, but at a minimum, we should have a discussion about this point system. I know it was implemented to try to take out the subjectivity of picking one over the other, but it clearly, it totally eliminates any possibility of a smaller business getting a license with those bonus points. And in this case, especially since we have a limited number of licenses, it is totally in favor of the two that exist. I mean, we can't deny that. And if whoever is going to end up being the license holder at Gibraltar, we don't even know that yet. We don't think it's the one that we originally gave the, what do we call? Not permit, but conditional permit to. I don't know what's going to happen on that one yet. So my feeling is I would love to see this tabled for tonight, and we have at least another discussion where we go through this very carefully just to make sure, at a minimum, we understand it, and that everyone else does as well, and what we're getting into, because I don't believe that's the case. And as you said, sir, there's a lot of confusion around this. I don't think you have to have 10 acres, but then you can stack licenses and you can do this with licenses, and it becomes a tool for companies that are large and have a lot of money and a lot of lawyers to help them figure this all out. And so I am totally, totally against this point system. I do not believe that it is fair one iota.
Go ahead, Commissioner Manson.
So I'm going to concur with you on the point system. I'm not pleased with it. And I know at one point, I believe Mr. Murray said that it was done this way to weight towards the people who already had medical, right? But I don't agree with it. I think that it is wrong. And I find some other things in here that have concerned me. If I look at page 15, item number 3, it says, "No person under the age of 18 shall be allowed to enter a marijuana business, excepting a provisioning center, in which case, the person must be accompanied by a parent." But then you go down a couple of lines, and it says, "No one under the age of 18 is permitted on the premises." That, to me, is contradictory. I have a couple others. I'm on page 17, on item number 23, it says, "Except for provisioning centers, retail establishments, and micro businesses, the dispensing of marijuana at the marijuana business shall be prohibited. No free samples shall be distributed from any marijuana business unless otherwise allowed under the rules." Well, I'm kind of concerned, where in there does a consumption facility fit? And then, I had another one. So, that's just my mark. So I'm looking back here on page 29, and it talks about a designated consumption establishment shall not sell or transfer marijuana or marijuana products to patrons directly and shall not allow patrons to bring their own products into the location. A designated consumption establishment may only allow patrons to receive deliveries of marijuana product from an adjoining provisioning center. So we've already given conditional licenses to 2 provisioning centers, and now they are now the only ones that will get consumption. And I think that is not right. And so I'm looking at location of provisioning centers, retail establishments, and designated consumption establishments. And under item B, I want to make sure that this is clear. Under item B, it says, "All provisioning centers, retail establishments, and designated consumption establishments shall be limited to the light industrial, heavy industrial, and general commercial zoning districts." Adding I think that's kind of the general commercial. So I think that there are some questions about the ordinance, about the fairness of the rating system, and the fairness to smaller businesses, as has been pointed out by our residents here and Commissioner Fournier. I just think that we need, it was said before that we should just do this and get it done, and we can change the wording later, and I am against that. Let's do it right the first time. Let's not pass this just to get it passed. Let's do it right the first time. And I believe the thing on 10 acres is for Class C growers, not an A or B, Class C, which would be the 1,500 plants or more, and that's stacked. So that's kind of my feeling on it. If you wanted to throw out a motion that we table this for continued discussion, I would second that for you.
Well, before you do, I was just reading again. As I read through this, I believe the point system should have been a major topic. I don't know why we should have had 5 major topics instead of 4, because I think that was a major piece in the ordinance. But I also think that there are things that now, obviously just going back and reading it again, it's a pretty large piece of legislation, of ordinances. It's a big piece here, and we aren't professionals in this, right? We're not attorneys, we're not in this industry, so we're learning as we go. And so just reading it again, I picked up on things like, why are we saying that a provisioning center or a retail establishment, and a consumption lounge can only be open until 9 p.m. A consumption lounge, it's the same thing as a bar. Why are we only opening it till 9 p.m.? I think you're sinking that business right away. I'm probably not their target market because I like to go to bed at 9, but you know, I mean, I know that there's a lot of people that are going to be interested in this who are a lot younger than me that don't even get ready until 9 o'clock, right? I mean, so I don't think we're building it for my age group. But I think that I don't understand. So there are just things that I read through as I went through again. So I would also favor taking another look.
Mayor Crop, I'll move that we table item number 9F, the marijuana business ordinance, until further discussion, or for further discussion.
Wait, I have a question. Do we need to put a time frame on that? Do we need to say for the discussion within 2 months, further discussion, you know?
I guess that's to the pleasure of the person making the motion.
What,
I mean, I would think it would be sooner than later, but
let's give it some time. How about the first meeting in December?
On or before.
Is that all right?
sounds like a good Christmas topic.
Support,
Ho, ho, ho.
So you support.
support.
Okay, is there any discussion on tabling? Okay, roll call, please.
Campbell.
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes.
Goodnow.
Yes.
Hammond.
Yes.
Crop.
Yes.
Menser.
Yes.
Voorhees.
Yes.
Okay.